It's the Andrew Christopher Show.
Here goes nothing.
With Andrew Christopher, your host. It's the Andrew Christopher Show.
This is it, you guys.
But really we call it the AC Show.
The first episode of the AC Show. I am Andrew Christopher. I'm a full-time musician, just stepping into the podcast world, and I thought I'd better start something in case I can't sing for the rest of my life. So I'm really hoping this thing takes off. You could help me, share it around, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Let your friends know about this awesome new podcast out there, if you think it's awesome by the end of this first episode. On this one, I'm going to call a few people, some guys that I think are going to be recurring guests. All I have are guys' names down that I'm going to call. So also, if you know of any interesting women, then you could send their info my way. Maybe some people I just forgot. Also, if it looks like I'm distracted, my window is open and I'm just watching the people walk by who can probably also see me. I'm sure they'll be coming to the door asking what's going on because I probably look pretty sweet in here. Anyway, so I'm going to call some of these people who I think will be recurring guests, some of my close friends, people I think are pretty interesting, well-spoken, so hopefully you enjoy it too. And then I'll be having them on as actual guests for a full interview. Sometimes in studio, they might be here, or I'll be set up just taking phone calls like we're going to do today. So first guy I'm going to call, he got snubbed on my other podcast, which I run with Dylan, called Between Sets, where we go out to our car between sets at our gigs and we just shoot the shit. We had my buddy Bobby on there as a guest, and then I was thinking that was cool. We should have him back. And I put out a vote on Instagram, and Dylan, as I said, my co-host on that podcast, he voted no. So it got really awkward. So I promised Bobby that he would be on this podcast because we don't need Dylan. He can join me here. So we're gonna give him a call. See how this works here. Like I said, this is completely random. These guys don't know I'm calling, so there's a good chance nobody's gonna answer. Because isn't that weird? Nobody. Well, I shouldn't say nobody. Some people are really good. I think it depends on your age. I don't answer my phone very often. So if someone randomly starting a podcast tried calling me, it would probably go to my voicemail. So that could happen with a lot of these people. I guess we'll just call and see. And hopefully they don't mind being recorded. I guess I'll give them a disclaimer. Anyway, let's see if this works. Bobby. See if it rings first, if I hooked it up. And I'm also in my basement. Oh no, the reception looks okay. I live pretty close to the border. We're in beautiful White Rock. It's ringing. Come on, Bobby. He's usually pretty good. He's a sociable guy.
Hey.
Bobby, what's going on, man?
Not much. I'm just hiking down. Can't remember what hike this is right now. I'm in Harrison. I was just up 800 meters on the side of the mountain there, looking over the Harrison Lake.
That's awesome, dude. I got to tell you, this call may be recorded for uses on my podcast.
Great.
Are you cool with that?
Yeah, man. Good timing, I guess.
Yeah, you're just getting a sweat on. What hike are you doing?
What is it called? Hey, what's this hike called again? Campbell Lake.
Campbell Lake. Cool, man. Are you guys at the top? Or are you just coming down or what?
We're coming down. We're on the way down. We're probably at least 50% done.
How long of a hike was it?
It's about 3 hours.
Oh, right
hour
on.
and a half in and probably an hour back to 2.5, maybe. I guess we went pretty quick though.
Good for you, buddy. So I explained a little bit. I talked about how you got snubbed on Between Sets, and so that's why I was going to have you on this podcast. And I'm just kind of calling a few guys who I think might be guests or people that I call from time to check in with. You got some big news. You're heading out traveling, right, in the next month or so?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Heading to
Thailand.
Thailand? Yes. So I guess we'll have to have you on before that happens.
And after.
Yeah. Or maybe we could even
Definitely
set up a call while you're in Thailand.
Oh,
Maybe getting one of those special massages from one of those special lady boys.
uh, all the lady boys will be with me for sure.
I know
So
you're a ladies' man, so I can only assume that you would be a lady boys man as well.
I don't discriminate, man. It's 2019, so
That's so true. Well, man, like I said, I'm just doing quick calls to introduce some of the people. So I'm glad you picked up because I figured a lot of these are just going to go to voicemail. But I was like, you're a sociable guy. You're going to want to talk on the phone. So I appreciate that.
and I'll always answer if it's you, no matter what.
Yeah, buddy. Thanks. Maybe you coming out to the Miller or the Lakeside this week, maybe?
Yeah. So what I was trying to set up for Thursday isn't going to work out. I did talk to you about it on the phone the other day.
Yeah, you said
But,
you had a date, but now it's not gonna fly.
Yeah.
That's all right. We're probably going to talk a lot about Bobby's love life on the podcast. So, I mean, I guess as long as he's open to it, and he's a pretty open guy.
I'm open to anything. Yeah.
So stay tuned for that for sure. Anyways, hopefully we'll see you sometime this week, man, and we'll
Yeah.
get you in studio sometime soon so people can see what you look like for our YouTube viewers and share some stories.
All right.
Okay, buddy. We'll talk to you later.
Good. Okay. Thanks, man. Bye.
Okay, bye. So there you go. Fun Bobby, as I like to call him. I've known Bobby since elementary school in Agassiz. Kent Elementary is where we both used to hang out, shooting hoops on the playground for most of our days. Yeah, he's a great guy. We'll get him in studio here, I'm sure, because he doesn't do a lot these days. He works up north, but that job's done. So, like he said, he's going traveling. We'll get him in here before he leaves. Anyway, so there you go. Fun Bobby. He was Backseat Bobby on the Between Sets podcast, but originally he was Fun Bobby, and you'll see why. You'll hear some of the stories, and we'll go from there. Next on the list, who do we got? Let me see. I did write a list. I think it was important for me, so we'll cross Bobby off. Done. He picked up. We're 1 for 1. Next, I'm going to try. Okay, so this gentleman I did call yesterday to ask about being on the podcast, and he was stoked on it, and I think he will be a really interesting guest. He was the former mayor of Chilliwack, which is close to where I grew up. I grew up in Agassiz, as I said, with Bobby, and Chilliwack's kind of the next town over. He was the mayor there for, I want to say, 3 terms, quite a while. He's a big music guy, big sports fan. He's a season ticket holder for the Chilliwack Chiefs. And he actually helped manage my first serious band called Pardon My Striptease. You'll hear from some of those bandmates as well on this show, I'm sure. Dylan is one of them, who I do Between Sets with. And so Clint Hames is going to be our next call. He's an older guy, so I think he'll pick up the phone. He picked up yesterday when I just called him randomly. Again, I don't think he's doing much. He's not really working a ton these days. So let's just see. It's calling again, finding reception.
Please stay on the line while your call is completed.
Oh,
Long distance charges may apply.
I didn't think about that. Long distance. Oh, well. I'm committed to it now.
How are you?
Clint, are you sick of hearing from me yet? 2 days in a row, eh?
No.
That's weird.
Not yet. No, I'm okay so
I-
far.
I got to say that this call is being recorded for podcast purposes. The first episode of the AC show. So are you cool with that,
goodness.
first of all?
I sure am. Absolutely.
That's awesome. I'm just doing a quick rundown of a list of some guests that I might have on, just to kind of introduce. And you're one of the most knowledgeable, interesting people I know. I don't know if you find that sad or not, but you're a pretty smart guy. So
Well, I can't. If I find it sad, then it's on me, isn't it? So I think it's wonderful.
it is.
It's
That's
amazing.
good.
So,
And I just had a lovely chat with your daughter, actually, too, who you said I should give a call to. She might
hey,
come
awesome.
on and give us some insight on the marketing platforms out there. So that could be cool.
awesome.
Great.
Great.
I was explaining you were manager of my first serious rock band, Pardon My Striptease.
Yeah.
I feel we had a pretty good run back then with you at the helm.
Well, I was just trying to keep you guys on the right road. It had nothing to do with my skill. It was all about yours. It's pretty easy to be involved with a bunch of guys who are as talented as you were.
Oh yeah, now you're
Uh,
just blowing smoke, eh? Trying to.
well, I'm too old to not tell the truth, right? So
Actually, yeah, that's what I
my
was very
memory's not
interested
good
in.
enough.
So, but you're a musician yourself. I was saying you play in a cover band, Judy Tuesday.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
We it's a bunch of old folks who loved music from the 1960s and felt like it was time to just devote ourselves to making sure that that music didn't die. And I don't think it ever will, because I think it's great music. But so we play music from the 60s, and we're finding quite a big audience out there for people who like it.
I I think it's great too, and I often wonder if a lot of the music today will die, and I would I would think a lot more of it will than the stuff from back then. But I don't know. I mean, you would guess that
Well,
eventually it would just turn into classic rock in 50 years, and people will still be listening to it. But I don't know. What do you think
well, it's
about that?
just there's so much of it. I mean, there's
Yeah.
so much music. I mean, when I was growing up in the 60s, there were 30 bands that were worth anything,
Yeah.
and there were another 300 that were sort of on the edges trying to make a go of it. And so there wasn't a lot to choose from. Today, there are hundreds and hundreds of people out there making great music, and there's so much great music. It's I don't know how you keep track of it all. It's just there's just so much. So I think only the very, very best is going to survive. But I think the same amount is going to survive over
Yeah.
over 50 years that has survived from 50 years ago today. The
Mm.
same amount will survive, but it's only, boy, the marketplace is so huge that, only the very, very top, but that's the way it is. I mean, I think right now, only the very best music is making any money, and everybody else is just scrambling, right?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Um, so to put you on the spot, do you have a favorite song of all time?
Oh gosh, you know what? I don't know if I have it changes. Like, it just seems to change with me. I got a favorite group,
Yeah.
and I don't think that'll ever change. I think the Beatles were they were an inspiration to me. I learned to play music because of them. I continue to play music because of them. I love the way they put songs together. As human beings, I thought they were just amazing people, and a couple
Hmm.
of them that are still alive continue to be pretty amazing and continue to make music. So the Beatles are my favorite group, and there's probably a half a dozen songs that I will just stop and do nothing to listen through all of those songs every time they come on the radio or I hear them, or
Interesting.
uh, you know, yeah. So
I,
yeah, they're great. But then there's a whole tier two list. I was really into what was called acid rock in the day.
of
The
course you
stuff
were.
that came out 67, 68. There was just this guitar driven pounding distortion music that was just it was like nothing anybody had ever heard before. So I still love that stuff. Black
And who
Sabbath,
would be
Led
some of
Zeppelin,
those?
that kind of
Who would be some of those
stuff.
bands?
Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin and people like that just they just drove that music, and
Gotcha.
I still love that stuff.
Yeah,
I
of
still
course.
love that stuff.
Yeah, I was. Well, I guess I was lucky. My mom's a Brit, so I was raised on the Beatles music as well. I guess that's one of the earlier bands I would have listened to and really got an appreciation for, and I love their stuff. Um,
Yeah,
I don't play a ton of it, but I do still really enjoy it when it comes on. And yeah, some pretty iconic songs they've written, and one of my favorite movies that Across the Universe.
yeah.
Did you like that
Isn't
one
that
even?
wonderful? Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And I was prepared not to, because I'm always worried when people start messing around with Beatles songs.
yeah.
But I felt I see the opening couple of scenes, and I went, okay, I love this. This is amazing. They have really brought to life some of those songs, and I thought it was great. Not all Beatles fans liked it. It was very controversial, but for me, it was amazing. One of my favorite movies.
Yeah, yeah, I know my mom loved it too. Um, Well, yeah, I didn't want to keep you too long this time. As I said, just a surprise call. It's going to be on the first episode. Hopefully, get it out there in the next day or two, and then hopefully we'll get you in studio. Maybe have a couple beers and get you really opening up about some of your sticky stories you may have.
Life and loves, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, let's
What a
do it
great
sometime soon. Thanks for taking the call. I'm glad you picked up. I was expecting a few voicemails, but I'm 2 for 2 so far. We'll see. I'm going to
Well,
call.
that's great. Look forward to it, Andrew, and good luck with the rest of it.
Okay, thanks. We'll talk soon, Clint.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. There you have it. Former mayor of Chilliwack, Clint Hames. He's going to drop by sometime soon. I think he'll have some fun stories for us. Led Zeppelin fan, I knew that. He's a heck of a guitar player. He can play with some of the best of them. We've shared a stage a couple times. Actually, one of my first gigs with that band was at Clint's retirement party, and that was quite a while ago. And we did, what songs did we do? We did Roadhouse Blues. My mom had this, I don't know, some like really sparkly blouse and, Robert Plant style. And I threw that on just for the hell of it. I was kind of weird back then. I still kind of am. Anyway, I put that on because I knew we were doing some classic rock tunes. And yeah, that was one of my first gigs with Pardon My Striptease. Played at his retirement, and he got up and played the solos for us. And it was awesome. So there you go. A couple guests that we're going to have on the show. 2 for 2. No voicemails. I'm stoked about that. Who we got next? Who's on my list? Oh yeah, I said I was going to call Dylan next. So this one, because he's working, I think. He's supposed to be working. Or no, it's 4:00 now, just so you guys know, for reference. So we'll see. I'm also going through my recent calls. I guess I don't talk to Dylan that much on the phone. So let's do it this way. Dylan plays drums for me anytime we go out playing music. Dylan also writes songs. He's really coming around on the songwriting part. He's working on his singing, guitar playing. But when we play together, he plays drums, does some backup vocals. You can hear us every Wednesday at the Jolly Miller in Chilliwack. I'm sure most of you listening have been there. And let's give him a call. Mobile. See if he picks up.
Please stay on the line
Another
while your
long-distance
call is
one.
completed. Long distance charges may apply.
I'm going to have to figure that out. My phone bill's going to be nuts. Make these guys pay for it if they want to be on the podcast. Could it be our first voicemail? And what are we going to say if it goes to voicemail? And why do I keep saying we? It's just me here. Dylan, come on, buddy. He said he's been feeling a bit sick lately. A bit tired, so he might not want to talk. But he's going to miss his chance to be on the first episode.
Hi, you've reached Dylan.
Oh.
Sorry I missed your call. Just leave a message and I'll call you back. Thank you.
After leaving a message, you can hang up
Oh, Dylan.
or press pound for more options.
Dylan, you blew it. I was 2 for 2 on my phone calls. I'm running through a list, introducing some of my guests I'm going to have on the AC show. I know, it was a surprise. You didn't have any warning, like I said, but that's okay. I guess you're not going to be on the show. Okay, see you never. Bye. Sucker. Now, he'll be here. Dylan's one of my best buddies. I see him more than anyone I see outside of my family because we're gigging a couple times a week. As I said, we do the Between Sets podcast together. So I'll be seeing him. I'll give him a hard time for not answering. Maybe he'll call back if he gets that voicemail. But then if I'm on the other line, I don't know what I'm going to do. I did not think this all the way through. But moving right along. We'll go to someone else. So Dylan plays drums. My guitar player, Brendan Woodruff, a.k.a. Woody, he's now mainly my, I would say, producer, sound engineer, who I'm recording a lot of my original music with. I'm in a duo called Parliament of Owls. If you want to check out any of our music, it's on Spotify, iTunes, and all that. So he's been recording. We've released a 3-song EP. We put a single out before the summer, and we're working on finishing the album. So he's working away at that. He's opened up his own studio in Chilliwack. He's doing really well for himself. Gets a bunch of really cool jobs, just odd stuff like working for like Mercedes-Benz commercials, editing their voiceovers or whatever it is. So we'll give him a shout. He's a really smart guy. He seems to know a little bit about everything. He knows a lot about some things, and then he seems to know a little bit about everything out there, or he at least pretends he does. I don't know. I usually take his advice because he is a pretty smart guy. So let's see if we can find him here, Mr. Brendan Woody Woodruff, and see what he's up to today. Give him a call. Again, it's going to be... Oh, Dylan's calling back. Dylan?
Dude, you were serious about the talking on the phone thing.
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
I'm just at the Wasson Mall.
Oh, that place. Okay, so you're on the podcast. Did you get my voicemail?
No?
Oh, well, you're on the first episode of the AC show right now.
Right now?
Right now.
What an honor.
Yeah. Well, you're not the first guy I called, but it is still an honor. Yeah, Tawasin.
What's going on? What's the first episode about?
Well, I just did a short introduction, and now just going through a list of... I put down 5 people who I was going to call. I figured people who are going to be regulars on the show. And you're on that list, obviously. I said you're the guy I see most outside of my family, other than anyone else in this world, I would think.
Same goes. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing at the mall?
I'm killing time. I'm actually going to pick up a new drum set.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
The new Donette skin snare.
Yeah.
Is it a full...
Yeah, so
does Donette make full drum sets or no?
Yeah, so he bought a company called George Way Drums,
Okay.
and his full drum sets are all under the name George Way.
Okay.
And so, yeah, going to pick that up. I just don't know what time, so I thought I'd head to the mall and be in the area.
Dude, you got it. Are you at the Bass Pro Shop yet or whatever?
No, I'm trying to find my way in there.
Dude,
no
it's
joke.
huge. It's unreal. Yeah, it's insane. They've got like stuffed animals everywhere and like full size. You know what I mean? Like taxidermy style.
Oh yeah! Wow,
Yeah.
nice work, dude.
Yeah, thanks. I've been looking up a bunch of big words to use on the podcast.
You managed to slip taxidermy in there.
Yeah, who would have thought that would be the first one? Anyway, was work okay today? You said you weren't feeling too great. I thought that's why you didn't answer the phone. But
Yeah, no, I'm just not quite sick enough to not go to work. It's
Yeah.
that awkward amount of sick.
yeah, that's a shitty one.
I know.
So yeah, I was just calling a few people. I called Bobby and I called Clint Hames. They both picked up, and then yours was the first to
Whoa.
go to voicemail. And then you called back like right away. As I was about to hit call for Woody, you called in before I could push the call button, and I was pretty excited.
So you're kind of 3 for 3 so far.
Yeah, I'm gonna call that 3 for 3.
And I'm in some pretty elite company there with Bobby and Clint.
Yeah, Bobby was hiking at the time. It was interesting. Clint and I got talking about music right away. Yeah, it's been good so far.
Cool. Well, should I let you go and dial up Woody? Go 4 for 4?
Yeah, I'm gonna dial up Woody, and we're gonna get you. You'll probably come in studio, I would assume, in the next little while. Otherwise, we'll do another phone call, like more of a full interview. I thought we could have you talking because I know you're a pretty big history buff, like a lot of war stuff or the armed forces, right? That kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a little bit for sure.
I thought you could bring some cool facts history wise to the show, and then obviously we'll talk about our gigs and music and whatnot. And it'll always just evolve into random bullshit, anyways. I think, right? But
Oh, absolutely. Hell yeah, man. That's going to be a good one.
okay. Well, I'll be seeing you tomorrow at the Miller, and yeah, we'll talk to you soon.
Right on. Okay, man. Honored to be on the show.
Okay, take it easy.
See you, buddy.
Bye. Dylan Waitman, everybody. Drummer extraordinaire. He's really killing it. Does a lot of session work, plays with a bunch of different bands. So, check him out. Obviously, Instagram at The Dylan Music. He's got a few of his own originals out there as well. You can check those out on iTunes or whatever. Let's just move right along. I introduced Woody already. So let's see, fingers crossed, he picks up again another long distance phone call. Gonna have to talk to my wife
Please
about
stay
this.
on the line
and
while
see
your
how
call
she
is
feels.
completed. Long distance charges may apply.
Or does that thing still apply where it's like you wait till after 6 and then it's free. I feel like that was 10 years ago and it does not happen anymore. He might be working. I might be ruining
So,
man, this call may be recorded for broadcast purposes on the first episode of the AC show.
wow.
Is that
that's
cool?
very exciting.
Is that cool with you?
That's always cool with me.
Man, and I'm 4 for 4 now. You're the fourth person I've called on this first episode. Just quick chats, introducing important people in my life who are probably going to be on the podcast from time to time. And no voicemails.
Well, I mean, when you phone, it's a big deal.
I know, because I never call anybody, right?
That's just it. You don't phone people often. So when I do receive a call from you, I know something important is happening, and obviously that is correct.
Yeah, and it was my New Year's resolution to call more people, and that kind of works.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it works because I started this podcast, so now I have to call people. So I'm winning for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's nice to hear your voice.
Thanks, buddy. What are you working on? Anything today?
I got a few projects today. So I finished a rough this morning of this interesting electronic pop, weird vocal song for someone. I don't even know where they're from, somewhere in the States. And then right now I'm doing intro, outro, and like little splash and fill music for a podcast for a consultant firm. I think they're in the UK.
There you go.
So it's been a full day.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'm glad you picked up, and hopefully if I start making any money on this, I can hire you to do a better job of recording and editing it, because that would be awesome. But
podcast, narration, audiobook, man, that's my thing. That's my jam.
I know. I was explaining to people kind of who you are and what you do. And one question I asked Clint, I did not ask the other two guys, but do you have a favorite song of all time?
Oh, all time? That's hard. That changes a lot.
That's what Clint said too.
Wow. It really depends on my mood and what's going on. Man, that's hard.
It's I feel like I have an answer to the question. I don't know if it's necessarily true, but it's just one that if someone asks me, I'm just like, this is it. And I do love the song.
Sure.
But you know what I mean? Yeah.
Sure. I understand that. Right now, I don't even know what right now, but one that comes to mind. How about this? The other ones that I would say my favorite aren't coming to mind quickly. The one that's currently coming to mind is Near Fantastica by Matthew Good. Nice. Or Avalanche by Matthew Good. One of those two off that album. That album was huge for me when it came out.
That's cool.
I love that album. So those come to mind right now. I mean, I've got tons of, they're all on my walls down here, but that one comes to mind first. So.
Oh, that's cool. Well, thanks for sharing that with us, Woody. And will you be able to make it into studio sometime to be a guest?
Oh, obviously.
Sit here beside me. And
I would love to.
Yeah, we'll have a good chat. We'll really open up about who Brendan Woody Woodruff is. And fun fact for our listeners, Woody and I share Canucks seasons tickets. We're both diehard Canucks fans. And so I'm sure we'll talk a bit of sports when you get in here as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, buddy, I'm going to let you go and move on with my list. And I'm just praying that all this recording is working out, because I'm like half hour into this already now, and fingers crossed.
I know it is, and if it isn't, I'll get a phone back from you shortly.
Yeah. Okay, buddy. We'll talk soon.
Okay. Talk soon. Bye.
There you go. 4 for 4. 3.5 for 4, I guess. I said no voicemails. I did leave a voicemail, but we still talked to him. He called right back, so that's fine. Next on the list, I love this guy. We don't get to hang out that much. He's super busy. I met him when I first was going to, believe it or not, I went to college because back then it was a college and anybody could get in. Now it's a full-fledged university. I probably wouldn't make the cut. The University of the Fraser Valley. I was there studying kinesiology, kind of early childhood education, but really I did not do very well. I dropped out and joined a rock band, and I used a lot of my student loan put towards music. It worked out okay. Like, I'm a full-time musician. I'm paying the bills. So, I mean, take what you will from that story. Drop out of school if you want, follow your dreams, or stay in school, get an education, whatever's important to you. So I met Chris there. He was my golf coach first. I can't say university. It was a university college back then. I made the golf team anyways because I tried out for the basketball team. Pretty much the coach said, yeah, you're good, man, but you're like a dime a dozen, 5'9" point guard. He said I could probably play at a different school, but not that school because they were really good. Luckily for me, the golf team was just on its way up, and I kind of slid in as the fifth member. I was good back then. Anyway, so made the golf team, met Chris. He was a kinesiology professor. He's still the head coach. He's won a couple national titles with the golf team. We're going to try giving him a call here and see what he's up to. Big podcast fan too. He's hoping to start his own, and he said he would be happy to be on the podcast anytime. Let's give him a call and see if he picks up. And this is the last guy on the list. Fingers crossed. 5 for 5. 4.5 for 5. It would be fitting if the last one did not pick up. You like the Super Mario on repeat back there? I guess not everyone can see that, but
Hi, you've reached Chris. Leave a message, please.
figured as
After
much.
leaving a message, you can hang up or press pound for more options.
Chris, I know you're a busy guy, but I think you're going to be kind of choked. You missed out on being on the first episode of the AC show. I was just calling a few people who I wanted to have as guests. I'll still have you in here sometime to come and talk shop. So, buddy, I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good day, whatever it is you're doing. Sorry I missed you, but I look forward to having you on the show. Take it easy. We missed him. He's got a couple minutes to call back, but I'm going to start wrapping things up here. So we'll see. If that happens, I'll answer it, of course. Otherwise, we'll get him on the show, hopefully in the next few episodes, get him in here. I'm hoping that some people can come out. I live in White Rock. A lot of these guys are out towards Chilliwack, so it's a bit of a drive. But, I mean, who doesn't want to come be on a podcast, have a couple beers? I wasn't going to drink alone, so I didn't have any this time. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed it, I'm on YouTube. Some of you may just be listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. That's great. Keep downloading them, share them around. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe, share the channel with your friends. If you guys have any suggestions, talking points, things you'd like to hear my opinion on, get a hold of me. Just send me a message, slide into my DMs, as the kids say. I'm easy to find on Facebook, Andrew Christopher, or Andrew Christopher Music. On Instagram, at Andrew Christopher Music. On Twitter, at AC Music 10. I guess I should make them all the same. Most of them are anyways. I'm trying to bring Twitter back to life. I know it's not dead at all, but in my life, it was kind of dead for a while. So I'm trying to bring it back to life. So get me on Twitter, tweet me. YouTube, you can message me as well now. Or if you have my phone number, give me a call. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, my original music, if you want to check it out, it's under Parliament of Owls on all those major streaming platforms as well. But most importantly, I hope you enjoyed this show. I'm going to cue up this theme song for you to leave you with that. And enjoy the rest of your day, whatever it is you're doing.
It's the Andrew Christopher Show.
I'll be thinking about you.
With Andrew Christopher, your ho-ho-ho.
Wherever you are.
It's the Andrew Christopher Show.
And I'm going to play some of that Super Mario now.
We really call it the AC Show. Yeah, we really call it the AC Show. Really call it the AC Show. It's the AC Show.
It's the AC Show with AC, your host. Check it out.